You ever have something so precious to you that when it's destroyed, it feels like someone's taken a piece of your soul? Yeah, that happened to Martin. His family's 75-year-old fishing boat, a living memory tied to his late grandfather, went up in flames set on fire by none other than the president of his HOA, a woman named Linda Barrett. And guess what? She posted the whole thing online, like it was some kind of victory dance. Can you believe that setting fire to a family heirloom and calling it community beautification? That was the moment Martin's quiet fight exploded into a full-blown war. Let me back up a sec. Martin was no stranger to battles. A former Army Special Forces veteran, he'd spent a decade overseas learning how to survive under fire, how to protect his brothers, but never how to deal with the grief of losing the man who showed him how to live as dad. When his father died suddenly, Martin returned to his family cabin by Lake Clearwater, a place his grandfather had built long before the HOA existed. That boat tied to the dock wasn't just wooden nails, it was history, honor, a promise kept through generations. Then came the letter, dripping with that thinly veiled menace HOAs are famous for. Dear Mr. Hansen, your unauthorized watercraft violates community standards. Unauthorized. Martin's family owned that lake property since the 50s. The only unauthorized thing was Linda's sense of entitlement. When she showed up on his porch heels, digging into the dirt, clipboard in hand, she looked every bit the perfect suburban tyrant. That eyesore has to go, she said, smiling like she was delivering a mercy sentence. Martin didn't back down. He told her flat out this was his land, his lake, his boat. But Linda wasn't interested in history. She was after control. And when the boat caught fire that early morning, the smell of gasoline thick in the air, Martin's world shattered. He watched helplessly as flames devoured decades of memories. And Linda filmed it, grinning like it was some twisted trophy. Clean shoreline, she mocked. Finally. What happened next? Martin didn't just stand there. He grabbed a paddle and smashed her phone to pieces. When she tried to stop him, he swung again, snapping her wrist. She screamed, drowning in shallow water while he stood above her, warning her to never trespass again. Linda pressed assault charges. Martin fired back with arson and trespassing claims. The neighbors, reporters, even veterans rallied to Martin's side once the truth got out. But Linda wasn't done. Oh no, she hit back harder. Here's the twist. Martin found out that water, as part of the visual corridor, wasn't just HOA jargon. It was a legal play to claim his lake. He teamed up with his old neighbor, Joe Ramirez, a grizzled local who told him straight up Linda's HOA was a front for a land grab, and they played dirty. So Martin called in a sharp lawyer, Olivia Grant, who shredded HOA records and property deeds, proving the lake wasn't theirs to take. With drones in the sky and cameras rolling, Martin documented every illegal move. The HOA tried to distract with their annual fishing tournament, complete with banners and smiling faces, but Martin's drone caught Linda boasting about handling him soon. The next day, the sheriff served Linda an injunction for trespassing and illegal enforcement. The whole community watched as her empire began to crumble. At a packed HOA meeting, Martin and Olivia dropped the bombshell, a financial audit revealing Linda had funneled HOA money into fake companies. The room gasped, and Linda, for once, was speechless. She'd lost the fight. But in classic villain fashion, she vanished through the back door, defeated but not gone, leaving whispers and court hearings in her wake. Martin rebuilt that boat, not an exact copy, but a resurrection. As the hull cut through the calm lake waters, something shifted not just in the air, but inside him. The community, once silenced, now stood behind him, parents, veterans, old fishermen, all reclaiming what was theirs. No HOA permission needed. Now Martin isn't just a man with scars, he's a guardian of truth, memory, and peace earned through fire. His grandfather always said, Water isn't owned, it's cared for. And it teaches you to care for yourself. That lesson never rang truer. So, what would you do if someone tried to burn away your history? Stand down. Fight back. Drop a comment, let's hear your take on justice, community, and when enough is enough. Because this story, it's far from over.